Last night, Misty was voted in as the permanent superintendent of Fresno Unified School District. My vote was the only no vote. I voted no because after working at nearly every school in the district over a career span of 37 years and another 2.5 years as a school board trustee, it is obvious to me that we need an infusion of experience and talent to move our students forward. As I reflect upon why this isn't more obvious to my board colleagues, I realized Fresno Unified has not had a qualified and effective superintendent in over 20 years. Some might even say in over 25 years. Over that time span, Fresno Unified no longer has the muscle memory of what effective leadership looks and feels like. Further, as a trustee, it's been my experience that district leadership is not always forthcoming with critical information that board members need to make informed decisions. Over the past year, I embraced the opportunity to talk with several highly qualified, experienced superintendents at large urban school districts from across the nation. There is a night and day difference when talking with qualified individuals who have experience with turning failing districts around, operationally and instructionally. They know what they're doing and they've learned from mistakes. At that altitude, running a school district is an art form. Once I had talked with professionals of that caliber, I knew I could not support returning to the status quo. There is a significant price to pay for qualified superintendents to be the best. The potential applicants I talked with had leadership and superintendent experiences from a variety of school districts. They were recognized in their fields and highly regarded for the results seen in their districts. We missed out on an incredible opportunity. I can't answer all your questions today, and I'm not here to add to the reality show aspect this process has become. I will say we had more than 25 applicants and interviewed 4 finalists, including Misty. She was the only internal applicant. Once they became finalists, my definition for finalists are the 4 individuals we interviewed. I believe their identities and qualifications should have been made public, as was stated by our search firm consultant at a public board meeting. Both the unnamed finalists and the sitting superintendents I spoke with over the past year had successful track records with improving student outcomes in the districts they served. Exactly the highly qualified individuals we were seeking, and from diverse backgrounds. They expressed readiness to live in the Fresno Unified attendance area and put their kids in our schools. They were not intimidated by the challenges we face in Fresno Unified, quite the opposite. Our students are depending on all of us. Going forward, I will support Misty as the permanent superintendent. All students have the right to high-quality public education that provides them with the skills necessary to fully participate in the economy, our democracy, and our society. Not only is access to quality education a civil right, it is the most precious gift we can give our children. I know we all believe that. Yet in Fresno Unified, the majority of students are chronically performing in the bottom 5% of the nation. Fresno Unified has some of the nation's worst test scores, especially for Black and brown children. That is the status quo. Student outcomes consistently rank toward the bottom for reading and math in California and nationwide. My sole interest in being on the school board, after working in nearly every school in the district over 37 years, is to extinguish the entrenched culture of failure. Selection of a highly qualified superintendent was our first real opportunity to take a giant step in that direction, and the most important decision a school board makes. I walk classrooms and observe instruction at schools regularly across the district. For the most part, I see apathy, low rigor, and poor quality instruction. The stakes have never been higher for our kids. What one teacher said a few weeks ago really resonated with me, and I quote, "You cannot outwork dysfunction." Our teachers are on the front line working with students every day. This situation is created by poor leadership at the top. It is not the teachers who are at fault. During a recent visit to a school to observe literacy instruction, every administrator on campus was performing various levels of crisis response for students with physical aggression who were not receiving the level of support and services they need at the school. Staff had injuries. My literacy walk was canceled. What was happening at the school was harmful to our staff, the individual students involved, the classroom, and the school campus. It all disrupts learning. That is why I fully supported a comprehensive national search and a competitive process for the most qualified candidate to lead Fresno Unified at this time last year. A full year has passed now. A full year for our students has passed now, with no improvements to student outcomes or district operations. Our community must engage to generate courage equal to the challenges we face in Fresno Unified. I'm asking for engagement from community leaders and families to see our students' potential and expect a fully functioning school district, to expect student outcomes to improve, to bear witness to the fact that we are failing our students, and to insist on reversing this destructive trajectory. As a board member, I cannot do it by myself. The students are supposed to be our North Star, and for me, they are all that matter. I'm not on the board for any other reason. I don't have any political ambitions. I'm committed to improving students' experiences in our schools. I was called racist during a board member meeting for simply advocating for an external search. I'm not racist. For the 2.5 years I've been on the board, I'm literally running a crisis center out of my home. I receive calls, visits, texts, emails daily around the operational failures that exist at the district and negatively impact students. There is so much I cannot tell you because of confidentiality and the Brown Act, which was designed to guarantee the public's right to participate, but unfortunately is weaponized to shield the district so that root causes are swept under the rug instead of solved. Any strategic wisdom about solving problems is expended through evasion, deception, and triangulating board members. Does this sound like student-centered leadership to you? During my press conference last April, I said our next superintendent must have a proven track record of action, urgency, and accountability with accelerating academic achievement. Transformation involves a profound shift, a complete overhaul of the education system with academic achievement at the forefront. I'm sorry to say that the board's choice does not hold true to this mission. The standards of performance for a superintendent go beyond the mechanical elements of going through the motions. In fact, and this is important, when the superintendent and the school board have a strong commitment to personal accountability and demonstrate it consistently, the organization itself will mirror that conscience. That is the required first step for changing the culture in this district. I hope the community will engage and hold every single board member, the superintendent, and executive cabinet members accountable for doing the job at the highest possible level in all of its various aspects. The students are depending on us. And lastly, amidst all of the celebrations around the new superintendent, and I do wish her congratulations, I will be celebrating only when student outcomes change and improve. Thank you.